After the past 2 weeks of all-time game-changing news with blockbuster events and announcements, the WWF was looking to get back to regularly scheduled programming, starting the build-up to the Backlash pay-per-view, with Raw kicking off with a Kurt Angle title open challenge calling out any champion to face him, which brought out Kane for a hardcore title match. As besides all the other major changes to the industry, the Backlash build-up to a lesser extent had to be changed after the original plans of Shawn Michaels' return were cancelled, with Michaels, who was scheduled to be a full-time performer on TV going forward starting last Monday, with him set to interfere in the Taker vs Triple H WrestleMania match to lead to a return to the ring at Backlash, either in a tag match against Taker and Kane or a singles match with Hunter, sent home after stirring things up backstage on back-to-back days of TV tapings, leading to Michaels confronting Hunter backstage in a heated exchange between them before leaving the building, with him not expected to return in the near future despite recently signing a new long-term contract. Raw's second quarter saw a unique segment for a live broadcast, with Vince McMahon inviting Jim Ross to meet him in his office, setting up Steve Austin entering the room to sit next to him, with McMahon airing a movie which ended up being the Austin Jr. segment from last Thursday, which saw Austin continuing to establish the turn, beating down Jr. in front of an hometown crowd in Oklahoma in a major heat angle, with the replay of the segment airing in full with added reactions from Austin Jr. and Vince to raise questions on if a lengthy replay would be done if Nitro was still on the air, with the company previously cutting down on video packages and recaps to not let viewers the chance to switch channels, as SmackDown last Thursday with the Austin Jr. segment and the announcement of Vince McMahon on Rock being suspended indefinitely to write him off television, doing around 7.2 million viewers, right at around the show's average viewership for 2001. With the impact of Rock's absence will be made clear in the next several weeks, with viewers' realization that he's not coming back for the foreseeable future in his first lengthy time off TV since before the company entered the early stages of the boom period. Following a Rhino vs Crash match, Raw closed out the first hour having Undertaker vs Big Show in a match booked on the spot earlier in the night, bumping Raw to a 5.4 rating, with the first hour overall averaging 5.1 rating with over 6.2 million viewers, a massive drop from last week's figure of around 7.3 million, with the 6.2 million while above what the show usually did on most weeks in recent months, not getting any significant boost from the usual 2.5 to 3 million viewers who were watching Nitro head-to-head on TNT between 9 to 10 p.m., if it wasn't known before, making it clear that the best chance to get the WCW audience back is with a separate brand, with JR confirming that the first WCW TV taping is now scheduled for June 9th on Saturday night at 11 p.m., with 24 WCW wrestlers currently on the WWF books, with most of them the majority of the company's mid-card roster, with most of the top names still not contacted about a buyout from Time Warner. Raw's big quarter of the night came at 10 p.m. with Linda McMahon coming out at the top of the second hour after hyping a confrontation with Vince on SmackDown, saying that she has 3 announcements, with the first one being that she is fully recovered and have resumed all responsibilities as the CEO of the company, before recapping the Shane vs Vince match at WrestleMania, calling out Vince to the ring to address him in public for the first time since Vince asked for divorce in the ring at Madison Square Garden in December, going over all the footage of Vince's angles against her in the past 3 months, including doubling her medication to get her out of the company, setting up Vince apologizing on one knee, with Linda this time asking for divorce before walking out of the building, with the 13-minute segment jumping over 1.1 million viewers to the peak of the night 6.2 rating, and one of the highest rated and most watched segments of the year with over 7.8 million viewers. with several ECW performers such as Just Incredible Rhino and Spike Dudley signing with the company in recent months, with more expected to follow in the near future, combined with ECW owner Paul Heyman now openly on McMahon's payroll as the lead color commentator on television with a creative role behind the scenes. ECW as a company officially filed for bankruptcy last Thursday to all but officially put an end to two of the top three U.S. promotions running as separate entities within a 2-week period, with Vince McMahon, who is set to buy the brand name and video library, now not only having complete monopoly of the market, but also control of any narrative and footage shown from both WCW and ECW history going forward, with the files showing ECW to be $7.5 million in debt, with money owed to pay-per-view distributors, TV stations and some of the talent roster, along with owing over $500,000 to the WWF after giving ECW 2 loans in recent months, as Raw's second hour after the big number for the Vince-Linda segment gradually dropping over the next 45 minutes to hover around the 5.7 to 5.3 rating range, with the highest profile segment coming in the middle of it, with William Regal booking Chris Benoit vs Chris Jericho with him as special referee, going 4 minutes before both Benoit and Jericho turned on Regal to start the build to a potential partnership, with both now all but cemented as babyfaces, with the company lacking on the babyface side with the absence of Rock and the Austin and Triple H turns. Rock's only mention on the Raw broadcast, other than JR briefly acknowledging the suspension storyline on commentary during the second hour, came in advertising during TNN commercial breaks for the Mummy Returns movie, which opens next month, with a cameo appearance from Rock that led to him getting the Scorpion King prequel as his first lead role, with JR also mentioning on Friday that Rock won't be back on WWF television until July or August, while denying rumors on Rock being off television in part because of storyline reasons to show up as the top guy in the new WCW relaunch in June, saying that there's currently no discussion regarding Rock working under the WCW brand, with Raw's 6-man tag main event booked by Vince half an hour ago seeing the first time Austin and Hunter teamed up as the top heel group against the Hardys and Lita, making their entrances at 10:55 p.m. to cross into the 8-minute overrun, with the Hardys after some of the most memorable matches in history during the TLC series getting a high-profile opportunity to draw in the main event position against Austin and Hunter, with the match going 7 minutes with Lita pinning Stephanie for the finish, setting up another major Austin heat angle with him and Hunter beating down Lita post-match, including a series of chair shots with Austin going all out and turning the crowd against him over the last week of television, with the match gaining over 900,000 viewers to bump Raw into the 6 rating range for the second time on the night, with the show overall while expectedly not topping the all-time TNN record viewership of last week, still holding strong with a 5.4 rating.